believe that everyone's here. Our third press conference of the year, and we have another group of riders joining us. The only constant so far has been Eli Tomac. And Eli, we now have 6 motos that have been raced, and you've been able to come on top of all 6. You've tipped over, you've gotten bad starts, you've gotten good starts. It doesn't seem to matter what the scenario. You've been able to come out on top. Tell us about round number 3 of the Lucas Oil Championship.
I just wanted to come here and have a good day and a good result. I've had some funky stuff the past few years, and obviously the big injury in 15. So wanted to get past that, and this is as good as it gets. But even a podium or whatever it would have been would have been a good day for me. Just the way this place has been the past couple of years. So felt really good all day. Early on the track didn't have a whole lot to it. After the first practice, it's going to be pretty easy. But by the time the second practice came around and first moto, it seemed like, it got good character. Some of it was a little bit, you'd follow a guy, but there was at least, a couple lines that you could make up some time and make moves.
My next question would be for Ken Roczen. Ken, the outdoor series, we've missed you for a little while, and now you're back. And not only back, you're making a statement that the injury appears to be behind you, and you look to be getting stronger each and every time we see you on the bike. What's your health, I guess, at this point of the year?
My hand has been kind of the same for the last couple weeks, just because when you have inflammation, for example, that I have in the thumb, it's like tendonitis, and because I aggravate it pretty much on the daily, it doesn't really go away. And actually today, in the practice and everything, it didn't feel that great, because feel like days before where my thumb was pretty good recovered, and I at least didn't feel it too much in the beginning. And of course, towards the end of the motos, it usually gets a lot worse. But it was kind of crappy from the beginning on from today, but it just kind of stayed right there, and it almost felt better in the second moto than it did in the first. I don't know. It's so weird. I don't even understand why. But anyways, I've been getting stronger and stronger, more so like racing fitness, because being back on the bike and now having a couple of races under our belt, we've been getting some good starts. And obviously here, I always like that track. It was a lot drier today than I feel like it was in the previous years. But yeah, overall, I'm more than stoked to be back on the podium.
Next question for Blake Baggett. This track's been good to you in the past, and today it seems to be good to you again. Take us through your afternoon as you finished on the podium again.
Yeah, no, definitely had some good luck here in the past, and to come away with a 3-3 and end up on the podium today is good. I'll take anything I can get at this moment. The first 2 rounds were not pretty, so just plugging away at it. We're doing a lot of testing and trying to get comfortable, and KTM's been helping us a lot. So from the first round to now, we've made big improvement, and can actually see the guys that are winning the races and not almost getting lapped by them. So just plugging away at it, and going to take this break and try to find a little more speed so that I can battle with these guys a little more towards the end of the motos.
First question from the media.
For all 3 of you guys, obviously the first moto was unusual with the red flag. How did it affect each of you?
Well, I personally, I don't think any of us really knew at first what was going on, because I feel like the red flag came out all of a sudden. But I think Kyle went down, and obviously that's a bummer. But I was kind of not pissed, but I got into third, and obviously Justin and Eli, they were up front a little bit ahead of me, which meant that I have a little bit of a clear track and not eating roost the whole time. And I felt pretty comfortable on everything, and I feel like I could have put on a charge, and then obviously the red flag came out, and it's always difficult to restart and regroup, and helmet's dirty, and you're starting to sweat already, and so, but it is what it is. It's for everybody the same.
Next question right behind you, Jim Kimball.
This question is for Kenny. Kenny, for the time you've had off, have you been impressed how well you've done so far, after just racing these 3 races?
Yeah, I am, just because little time on the bike, and obviously we went from Glen Helen. There were a lot of other things bit of sickness. The first race, there's some funky going on, and obviously we went backwards rather than forward, and then had a good weekend last weekend. I think it's more so just after already Hangtown, that which is just one race, it started feeling a lot more familiar again. And I feel like now finally I'm going to the track, just having fun instead of thinking about, oh man, this is my first race back after being off for months. And so I'm just currently having fun and trying to get even more familiar with it, and trying to do some motos throughout the week too, just to get more familiar with the distance.
Next question.
Eli, this is for you. You had mentioned yesterday that you wanted to get an overall here and check that off your list. When you cross that finish line, kind of describe that feeling of checking off that list and what it means to win here in your home state.
It was just awesome. I mean, yeah, it was just something I want to do, and it happened. You know, it's you know, you wake up and you want to do it, but you still got to go out there and do it. So I think it just you know, we've just been in a really good spot the whole year, and you know, this was the time to do it, and we were able to get it done. So yeah, just feeling really good on my motorcycle right now.
Jason from Racer X, this is for Ken. What is your schedule during the week? Like, how much riding can you do? Do you do testing? Do you do training? And then what do you do at the off weekend? What's your schedule right now while dealing with the injury?
Well, lately I've done more testing than, especially after Hangtown. It was tough because I felt super weird on the bike. I haven't had any time to test, and we were pretty far off. And most of the days that I was riding, I was doing a lot of testing just to try and get some kind of base that I can deal with. And then you can, you know, I tell them that you have this and this much time or of my time, and then other than that, I have to go out and do my motos and get my training in also, rather than just testing the whole time, because that is just getting comfortable on the bike, which is super, super important. It's important to get a good base that you're decently happy with, and then you can go in from there, and you can squeeze a couple of things in and before and after your motos. So mostly it honestly has been trying to just test and pick through some stuff and get comfortable, and it's more so suspension than anything else.
How much will the weekend off help, you think?
A lot, actually. Now, my plan was getting in, because obviously I'm still trying to just play catch up, so I'm going to go back and just try and put in a lot of time and use that off weekend for some good recovery also, but mainly just focus on my riding and just do laps, a lot of it.
This is for Eli. Just describe the incident where Barsha went down in the second moto and you almost got by him and then you got hung up. That was pretty crazy there.
Yeah, that hill is just the man-eater hill, I guess. You know, it seems like every year someone has a moment there, and yeah, Justin got kicked huge, big time. It could have been really bad before he crashed, and he kind of half saved it, and then he dumped it over, and the bike was in the rut. So luckily, I was able to hit the brakes beforehand, and then not have someone right behind me. So yeah, I mean, I got past, but whole situation, was pretty good outcome for what it was.
You guys battled to the 20-minute mark in the first moto, you and Ken, last week. Kind of battled the 20-minute mark in the first moto today, 20-minute mark. What is that like? Is it frustrating for you? Like, I want to go, go, go? Or are you knowing where you are on the clock and thinking, okay, I got time and it's a good battle, it's okay?
It's tough to say. I mean, you always want to be in front if you can. But, Ken was riding awesome. But today, the roost was not fun to be behind someone. So it was just, I had to be patient and try to find a couple lines and ended up finding a few, little outsides here and there and maybe a little sneaky inside. So just kind of trying to find some lines to get momentum on.
Yeah, Eli, that step up over there, when did you find that? Before the big triple? You were making up a lot of time on Kenny there. When did you find that line?
It was just in the morning. And then the motos, it actually was just a braking bump, really, and you could just jump over it and double it. So.
Eli, your training partner won the 250 class, Jeremy Martin. So just talk about the relationship you guys have, and then you both winning today. That seems pretty cool.
It's cool. It's been good to have a guy there. In the past, I was was just by myself guy, which was probably kind of weird, but. you know, it's been really nice having someone there, and we've been able to push each other, and it's been good. Team Cortez took the win.
Blake, what's your plans with the off week? Is it testing? Is it training? What do you have focused on to try to get up there and battle these guys for the win?
Yeah, I mean, probably some of everything. Just some testing, or going back to Florida, so be in control of the environment, track, everything else. So go back there and do some testing and give it some motos. And then if Kenny's got his boat on the lake, I'm just going to hop on.
You one should be there next week.
See, I knew. He wasn't going to tell me, but I'm just going to sit on the dock and wait for him. Yeah. Kenny's going to drive by and he's going to be like, that buoy looks like Blake. He's bald. I'm like, pick me up, bro. So, yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm committing him right now, so everybody knows that if he doesn't, I'm going to tell everybody that he didn't invite me.
Next question from the media. Right back there, Jim Kimball. Oh, sorry, Aaron Hansel. Go ahead.
You passed Kenny in the same spot in both motos. Did you have that spot picked out, or is that just when the opportunity presented itself?
I don't know. It's the spot I had a different line, I guess, and yeah. Actually, I don't even. As bad as it sounds, I don't even remember exactly where it was right now. Behind the start. Oh yeah, behind the start. Yep.
No, I planned it. I know you planned
Yeah.
it. I didn't even remember where you passed either.
I know. It's
I
crazy.
seen the paper. He wrote it down. This is where I'm doing it.
Yeah, it was a spot. I had some extra momentum, did a little square, and went up the inside.
This question is for both Blake and Kenny. After that first moto, I noticed, unless I missed something, you guys didn't go to the podium. You went back to your pits, I think. Why was that, or what was going on?
They weren't allowing number plates with the number 4s on them to go to the podium.
I actually went to the podium, and then I think we were in such a time crunch, they sent us back, so I walked back. I was pretty bummed. I would have just rather stayed on the bike and rode back instead of walking.
Next question. Final question is for Ken Roczen. Today we had our Grand Marshal and Olympian, and we were in the production meeting this morning, and it was imperative that before anything happens, she gets a chance to meet Ken Roczen. What was it like meeting an Olympian here in Colorado?
Yeah, it's awesome. Michaela Schifrin, I watch her through, because I love I love any kind of Olympics, but I watched the whole Winter Olympics and just enjoyed it a lot. So to be able to meet her was pretty cool. I knew that she was going to be here because her dad was actually my anesthesiologist for a bunch of my surgeries. So I kind of knew that she was going to be here and stuff. So, yep, I know her dad pretty well.
Well, that's pretty cool. These individuals right here rounded out the podium in the 450 class. Eli Tomac has a 6-for-6 season. Ken Roczen, for the first time in the 3-round series, joins us, and Blake Baggett. Outstanding job, gentlemen. Enjoy your weekend off. We look forward to seeing them and all of you at High Point Raceway coming up in 2 weeks. Have a safe trip home.